Let's continue with our investigation of solving multi-step equations. Today, we're going to do day 2 of the notes. Again, the daily target is that you will be able to solve equations in one variable that contain more than one operation. So, today's lesson is going to involve combining like terms. Again, this is a skill that you were taught last year, so let's quickly review it. In order to have like terms need to have the same variable or both be constants. So in problem number 1, this problem says 3 plus 10p plus 10p plus 6. In order for terms to be like terms, they need to have the same variable. So the variable is the letter. I have a positive 10p, and I also have another positive 10p. Because they both have a p attached, that means I can combine these two terms together. 10p plus 10p makes 20p. I can also combine constants. So I also see a positive 3 and a positive 6. I can combine constants. So 3 plus 6 makes positive 9. I cannot add these two terms together. The first term has a p and the second term does not. So my final answer is the expression 20p plus 9. Let's try another problem. Problem number 2. Again, I'm looking to combine like terms. So I see a variable n. I'm going to box it off. But none of my other terms have n's attached to them. So therefore, there's nothing I can combine the n with. I'm just going to bring it down. Now let's look at my constants. I see a negative 6 and a positive 5. They're both constants, so I can put those together. Negative 6 plus 5 leaves me with a negative 1. N minus 1 is a final answer because those are not like terms. They cannot be combined together. All right, your turn. Try this problem with me, problem number 3. So the first term I see is a 10a. Which term is a like term with 10a? Negative 8a is the like term. So 10a and negative 8a are like terms. I can combine those. What is 10a minus 8a? That makes 2a. The second term I see is this positive 7. What is the like term that matches with positive 7? Positive 1. So again, I combine 7 plus 1 makes a positive 8. My final answer is an expression because 2a and 8 cannot be combined. Okay, now that we remember how to combine like terms, we're going to use that skill to help us solve some multi-step equations. So, problem number 1. Find your equal sign and draw your line straight down the middle. Today's first step is going to be to look for like terms because we need to combine them to make our expression simpler. So look at the left-hand side. The left-hand side says 8 minus 5n minus 5n. That's a lot of terms. I see a pair of like terms that I can combine. I can combine this negative 5n and this negative 5n. They both have an n. Do exactly what it says. So I see negative 5 minus 5, and that gives me a negative 10n. The only other term I have on the left-hand side is this 8. I'm not allowed to cross the equal sign. That's like a wall. You cannot cross it. So there's nothing for the 8 to match with, so I just need to bring the 8 down. Equals. On the right-hand side, I only have one singular term. There's definitely no like terms I can combine over there. So I'm just going to bring down that negative 12. Okay, it's time to solve this two-step equation. So box off the variable. Outside of the box is a positive 8. To undo it, I need to subtract 8 from both sides. That will make these 8's cancel. I can drop down this negative 10n equals. On the right-hand side, I see negative 12 minus 8. When I combine those, that gives me negative 20. One more step. This says negative 10 times n. So to undo that multiplication, I need to divide both sides by negative 10. My 10s will cancel. I'm left with n equals negative 20 divided by negative 10 gives me a positive 2. Not so bad, huh? Let's do another problem. Problem number 2. This problem says 6 plus 4v minus 5 plus 3. Let's solve for v. So let's look to see if we can combine any like terms. On the left-hand side, I only have a 6, so I'm going to bring that 6 down. Equals. The right-hand side has a lot of terms. 4v minus 5 and plus 3. The 4v is the only term that has a v attached to it, so I'm going to bring that down. But now when I look at my constants, I see this negative 5 and I see this positive 3. They're both constants, so I can combine those together. Negative 5 plus 3 leaves me with negative 2. Okay, let's solve. Box off the 4v. Outside of the box, I see a negative 2. The opposite of that is to add 2 to both sides. The 2's will cancel. 6 plus 2 gives me 8 equals, and I just drop down the 4v. Finish it off by dividing both sides by the number that's in front of the variable, 4. 8 divided by 4 gives me 2. So my final answer is 2 is equal to v. If you're still writing, pause the video because now we're going to move on to some you-try problems. Okay, 2 examples for you to follow along and do with me. Problem number 3. Find your equal sign, draw your line straight down the middle. On the left-hand side, that side looks pretty big, so there's a pair of like terms that I can combine over here. Let's start with the 4. What can I combine with the 4? I can combine positive 1. They're both constants. 4 plus 1 gives me 5. The next term I see is this negative 2k. There's nothing that goes with the negative 2k because nothing else has a k attached to it. So I just bring it down. Equals 3. Now that I have a two-step equation, I'm going to solve. I'm going to box off my variable. What's the first step? Minus 5 on both sides. The 5's will cancel. I drop down the negative 2k equals 3 minus 5 is negative 2. What's the final step? I need to divide both sides by the coefficient, negative 2. So I'm left with k is equal to, what's negative 2 divided by negative 2? Positive 1. So k is equal to 1. Let's do another one. Problem number 4. Find your equal sign, draw your line straight down the middle. Let's look for like terms. So I have a positive 1, that's a constant. And if I look on the left-hand side, there's no other constants. Remember, I'm not allowed to cross this wall. So I'm going to bring the 1 down. The next term I see is this positive 7r. What is the like term that matches with positive 7r? Positive 5r. 7r plus 5r gives me a positive 12r. Equals, on the right-hand side, I only have a 1, so I'm just going to bring that down. Okay, box off the variable. Outside the box, I have a positive 1. What should I do? Subtract 1 from both sides. These ones will cancel. I drop down the 12r equals, what's 1 minus 1? 0. 0 is a number. Don't be afraid if you get 0 as part of your problem. All right, one more step. What do I need to do now? I need to divide both sides by 12. These will cancel. R equals. Be careful. What is 0 divided by 12? 0. Again, 0 is a number. You're allowed to get 0 as a final answer. And that's how you solve a multi-step equation, by combining like terms first.